The advantage of combining these methods helps to reduce the time and increase efficiency. Talk about productivity and efficiency coming to the picture. At the same time, you minimize variations. And you know that you cannot eliminate variation. Variation is actually nature. You never get two materials at the same quality any time. Even if you take a 1 ringgit or 10 ringgit, there must be some variation in terms of measurements. You can't get exactly the same. So it is well accepted variation exists in any process. Okay, that's the reason we need people to improve or to eliminate or to reduce the variation. So it's actually the whole thing where waste elimination is actually producing what is needed, when is needed, it is needed with the minimum amount of materials, equipment, labor and space. If you don't have this culture, then you tend to waste a lot of materials. You may, like supermarket, they have sales. Sometimes you tend to buy a lot because sometimes you find it actually waste. Too fresh. I mean, sometimes you don't realize it's only expired. Correct? Actually, sometimes we buy what is not needed. Sometimes we over purchase because of the sale, the promotion.
Yeah. Should it also include minimum amount of time?
Normally, any work there will be a target. Deadline you have to meet.
Okay.
That's very fundamental. In terms of customer satisfaction, if you don't meet the deadline, you miss your shipment, then your sales is gone. Okay, so time is actually very important. Okay. For example, like medical line, like medicine, shipment medicine. For example, talk about Nestle. For them, the timeline is very important because if you miss one shipment, some babies will miss their milk. Pardon?
Then they change brand.
Because we don't do that. Because we do a project design for the executive diploma, and we have the assembly. And if the student submit assignment 1 minute late from the deadline, they fail. 1 minute. When the HR received, they put the time. I thought that was so strict. Later I realized the milk business is such that not maybe they change brand. Some children they miss, like in Africa probably, they miss the shipment. So the time is very important. Probably it is above all this. Okay? And the variation reduction methodologies to defect prevention, how you prevent defects from occurring. Do it right in the first time. Use statistical tools ranging from process map to process capability, where it involves a lot of statistical methods. So 6 Sigma always talk about a lot of statistical methods. Design experiments, Okay, now let's go to the research details. The study seeks to review and understand how these multinational corporations with renowned working policy built around 6 Sigma Plus methodologies apply them in Malaysia and what makes them such practice work in the organization. Because they are foreign companies, the people are local people, but they make things work, But in our local companies, cannot. The same people, probably only the company owners different. Okay, so we try to find out what are the critical success factors involved in the process, how they make things work. Because many companies fail 6 Sigma, local companies. As the globalization moves in, there's an immediate necessity for local organizations to apply such best practices in their organization to improve their deliverable. Because you have to compete. If you're late, then someone will take your business. The primary objective of this research is to determine what makes 6 Sigma Plus application in MNC business a success and identify the key critical success factors required to achieve the sustainable success. Also, to achieve the goal of the research, the following guideline is developed to ensure a clear path and idea follow, anchor to ensure of the research success. There's a guidelines we develop. First, to identify the pool of local operating MNCs employing Six Sigma methodology, because not many companies in Malaysia implementing the Six Sigma. Not all MNCs. So we have to identify the pool of MNCs, and then we design the questionnaire and conduct exploratory survey on the Six Sigma Plus applications at the MNCs. Utilize the results of the questionnaires finding to define the CSFs that makes the Six Sigma implementation a sustainability success in these companies. Publish the findings so that others can benefit from the findings. Research design. Okay, we use the exploratory message, a study with the email correspondence and website survey method. Why exploratory method? I think it's well known. You reach out the population, So we try to take the sample, but in this case, our population, our sample size is almost close to population, because not many companies in Malaysia implementing Six Sigma. Question format, the company provides such as duration of operations, percentage of local content within its operations. Sometimes a lot of MNCs operating here, probably 90% of foreign staff. So that is also important, you have to find out. Questions related to the implementation of Six Sigma Plus application in these companies. The research design, the survey response were featured into MST, Management System Evaluation Tool, to refine the questionnaire and provide calibrated and benchmark results of the survey. Several key interviews were conducted with the relevant practitioners. The chosen MNC will be done to ensure baseline reference in coupled into the questionnaire. There are 5 well-known input variables has been proposed by the other researchers. The 5 critical success factors that are necessary for any companies to move forward. They are management commitment involvement. How much the management really committed in that idea, or just a lip service. Okay, sometimes some new methodologies, the management say everybody must do it, but actually as a lip service. They don't really try. They don't provide enough resources, enough funding, enough people to work on it. The workforce understanding of the Six Sigma Plus methodology, tools and technique. Very important. Whether the employees really understand or not. You just ask someone to do, but you don't really give them training. I think OUM allocated 2.5 million this year for training. It will really help us to really improve our performance or work culture. I don't know what to say, okay? Six Sigma level of absorption to the organization. For example, how much is absorbed into various departments? Because sometimes in the supply chain, it's actually from the raw materials up to the customer. A lot of companies, they use a lot of subcon. You only Six Sigma is not good enough. How about your suppliers? Because you only produce 20% of the part, the rest is done by your suppliers. So you ensure even your supplier to fulfill certain standards, part of the Six Sigma. So they must be part of your team. So let's talk about absorption level. Assessment of process for all Six Sigma projects. Six Sigma is actually a methodology or process. So you don't do like a whole company is a Six Sigma. Nobody will select projects. So how do you really assess the project? Okay, you really follow through and provide all the necessary support in terms of resources, any assistance, and also review and tracking after completing the project. Training structure for continuous awareness. So training is always a continuous. It means people tend to forget. You always have to refresh. A lot of MNCs, they have a very mandatory policy on training, 40 hours minimum training. Most of the world-class companies.